You built your stone cube on that PvP server and overnight you got wiped again? Yeah, that sucks. Or more like, you suck at ARK. And probably don't even know why. Well, it's probably because you're doing at least one of the following things. Farming metal is annoying. Who needs wood, and cement is just slugful for you. If you don't fill your forges with metal to burn, what would you need wood for? The lack of resources can become a huge problem. It prevents you from making any progress. You cannot craft proper gear, and if you get raided because you didn't want to upgrade your stone brick to metal, then you honestly deserve it. So what can you do about it? Just eat the fish. The quicker you have done the farming and filled up your storages, the quicker you will have time to take care of other things. Get the right dinos for farming as soon as possible. Farming with dinos makes the progress much easier, as they farm resources more efficient than if you're doing it by hand. If you really don't like farming, pick a day, fill up your resources, and you will see it will take a while before you have to go out again. Farming resources won't become more fun, but you will have more time for things you really enjoy, or at least you won't have to farm those beach rocks because you're 5 metal short to build new armor after being eaten by a raptor. You have found your opponent, waited for the right moment, draw your sniper rifle, aim, shoot, and hit. But your opponent still stands, turns around and blows you away with 2 shots. Yes, unlike you, your opponent has farmed drops and got better blueprints for his equipment. Now, his 400% sniper rifle has turned your armor into Swiss cheese, and while enemies steal everything they can from your corpse, you rage, hit that power button and turn off your PC, because this sucks. Well, all that sucked was you. Everything happened because you did not pick up the drop when you had the chance to do it. When you flew around the map to gather resources, you had no time to open the airdrops. When you were swimming around the ocean, you thought the red glowing beacons are for decoration, and you never went into caves, because they are scary. Equipment you build using blueprints costs more resources, and that means you need to farm more. This sucks. But do you know what sucks even more? Wasting 1 hour, 7 crossbows and 600 rank arrows on that giga that just eats you out of boredom after you had no equipment left. Now think about it, if you would not have died 3 times in the last hour trying to farm metal to players shooting you off your Anki because you had better armor and weapons. Better armor protects you from other players, better saddles keep your dinos alive, better weapons do more damage to enemies. And better tools let you farm more in less time. In general, you can say that better equipment makes the game easier and less of a grind. You feel like a real alpha as you stroll across the map on your Giga, only to take a deep dive into the volcano seconds later after being picked by a player on the Pteranodon. Your Giga is gone, you are angry and your opponents had their fun. That wouldn't have happened if instead of a level 5 Giga you had focused on acquiring good flyers, better farm dinos and an army of Rexes so you could finally take on the bosses. Instead, you lose every flyer battle, because your Pteranodon runs out of stamina after 2 attacks, while your opponent seems to have endless stamina. Yes, taming strong dinos often takes time. A level 5 Rex is tamed much faster than a level 150. But you know what else takes time? Getting a new Rex every day, because the one you tamed yesterday is gone again. And don't get me wrong. You don't need the absolute strongest variant of every dino. Your Dung Beetle or Oviraptor also do their job at level 5, and in the early game it's sometimes easier and faster to tame any Ankylo than to spend hours searching for a max level 1. It's important to know which dinos you can settle for lower levels on at certain times and which one you should take time to seek out higher levels for. And I haven't even touched on mutations and taming stats yet. Max level dinos make a statement. They have better stats, more health, more stamina, deal more damage, and overall, survive better. It may seem a bit cumbersome at times to craft kibble, prepare all the darts, and then spend hours searching for the right dino. But in most cases, it is worth the trouble. So, in the last hour, you died 3 times from fall damage because a random player picked you with his Pteranodon, and they threw you down. That sucks. But it's not the other player's fault, it's yours. You ran out of your base, naked, without a parachute, bolas, or even a weapon. You didn't want it any other way, did you? I mean, what did you expect? ARK, and especially PvP, is the best example for Murphy's Law. So anything that can go wrong will go wrong. And for you, it means that you have to be prepared for everything. If a PT grabs you, you need a bola and a parachute. An enemy shoots at you, you better have med brews in your pocket. at Rodan, catches up on you, drink your energy brew. And so it goes on. Unlike many others, you shouldn't put your tools in your quick bar. Put bolas, parachute, binoculars, med brew and your best weapon in it. You can still use tools from an inventory when you are in a safe place. And for God's sake, don't forget to pack something to eat and drink. There is nothing worse than starving or fainting while fighting another player, only to wake up afterwards handcuffed in a cage. This applies to all situations. Learn to have a feeling about what you should have packed and when, so that you don't have any problems in the future because you don't have your parachute. Even if you have to be quick sometimes. The Giga won't be tamed away in the 30 seconds. You need to pack everything to be prepared for enemies disturbing you. We've all been like this. And so, I know you probably play like you're in Minecraft when you leave your base just to make it look better, only to probably lose it in the next 2 days. And we've all been there. At some point in our career, we've all been the beach bob, or even worse, the one that gets insulted by the beach bob. Even with the current lack of maps, ARK is a huge game with tons of things to discover. Yes, leaving the base and taking a risk is kind of risky, but it would be much worse never to see what is possible. Go out and find yourself some enemies and try to steal their stuff. And go out and find yourself some friends. Try to steal their stuff. Maybe it's better than yours. And if you get killed, who cares? Click respawn, jump into a flak armor, and on you go. When I think of the best moments, it was when my teammates and I grabbed a bucket of paint and flew to other bases and painted them pink from top to bottom. Or tried to tame a Giga with flyers and a horse only to be eaten seconds later because someone got it wrong and threw you down. Did we die in the process? Of course. Did we lose a lot of stuff? Of course, but we had fun. And we made new friends. And some of them are still important allies today. Yeah, don't worry. I believe you that you haven't put all your levels into food, water or oxygen. But why are your levels always the same? You do realize that you can reset them to be better equipped in different situations, so get the mind wipe and make good use of your levels. See, if you want to build yourself new armor or weapons, well then put in the mind wipe and all your levels go straight to crafting skill. If you now build something from a blueprint, it will be much stronger than the actual blueprint. You want to get out of your base to make trouble? Then it's best to level health, melee damage or stamina. If you want to tame the UT in the snow, then put some levels into fortitude. Your water and hunger will go down slower, and if parts of your fur armor breaks, you won't freeze to death right away. Even oxygen makes sense from time to time. If you want to enter one of the underwater caves, or if you're doing a ride around the island with your angler. What I'm trying to say is, when you're doing something, think about whether a different leveling might be better for you, so that you can do it more efficiently. Okay, this is a tough one, and now it's getting tricky. Because you promised your friend to show him ARK PvP, and he thinks it's great. As long he is the one who kills the other players. Then when he gets picked up by Pteranodon, he starts flaming. But he doesn't actually do much else. Yes, he's online every day, but you already got metal, cement and polymer yesterday, and it would have been his turn today. But in the meantime, your friend was busy feeding 2 of your Argentavises to wild gigas, fighting other players with blueprints in his inventory, and insulting the opponent in old chat, who turned out to be members of the Alpha tribe. Yes, you made a mistake. Your friend is not only making your tribe a target of the whole server, he's also spoiling your fun in the game. And if you want to continue playing, you should quickly think about how you can address your mate, because otherwise you will have an unpleasant time on your server. It's best to address it directly, before it gets even worse. In all the cases I've seen, it escalates at the latest when the first big raid comes and the base is defended. One will make an effort, while the other throws in the towel halfway through and simply leaves because PvP is not for him anymore. Keep in mind, great teammates can lift up your tribe and can increase your progress enormously. But bad teammates can destroy your whole progress in a mean of seconds.